Where were you 13 years ago today? Hi. Anthony Cumia Show. The September 11th edition. Not as somber today, though. Not as somber as years past. First year, very somber. Fifth year, very somber. 10 years, somber. Today, not so somber. Not as somber. Somber. Yeah. MSNBC is doing their usual fucking gore fest. Their disaster porn that they put on there. Running minute by minute coverage as it happened 13 years ago today. And, I think we've seen it. And then with the internet, if you want maybe some of the kids to get a little educated about it, you send them there. But to just put it on purely for ratings, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a little sick. I didn't want to go with the whole thing either. Put the fucking logo of the towers and everything up. And let's remember. Remembering is not putting up a graphic or tweeting something or, it's actually remembering and using that information in the future. Not forgetting, as many people have. Yeah. Apparently, September 11th, 2001, we never, ever would have assumed that at some point we would have Obama. Barack Hussein Obama as president. Could you imagine that? September 11th, watching the coverage, and you go, hey, by the way, I just took a trip to the future. In just a few years, we're going to have a president named Barack Hussein Obama. And people go, what? Get out of here. And I say, yeah, it's got that name, Hussein. People would be like, well, he's a good guy. I could understand that. It's reasonable. Okay. He's a black guy. No way. Never happened. See what I did there? I only did that because I'm such a racist. Look out. Look out. You'll get the comedian police on you. Right? The comedian police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, what a fun evening it was last night. Debating. That Twitter, man. It's just become something that, I don't know. You can't even say it's become something because we don't have any kind of previous reference to anything like it. We don't have any kind of a thing that has ever been like social media before. Writing letters, even email, that's, whoever you CC, that's fine. You get those emails with the 20,000 CCs on it, and you're still not connecting with as many people as you do on Twitter. And then you're seeing people you have nothing to do with. You don't have anything to do with these people. They're commenting on your life. It's astounding. So last night, of course, I get in a little fray because it was pointed out to me that on the wonderful, beautiful, and talented Joe Rogan show, the Joe Rogan Experience, this guy, Joe DeRosa, was on there. And he was, talking about a little bit of everything. Joe Rogan does an amazing show. He is so good at the relaxed hangout interview. I've never seen anybody feeling nervous on the show or intimidated. And he can be an intimidating guy, but he just relaxes. He talks like it might be the pot. All right, we know, but he's just very even-keeled, very logical. And he was talking with Joe DeRosa about I came up in conversation because apparently, and I really had no idea this was going on. I swear to you, I had no idea. I suspected something because I hadn't heard from Joe DeRosa in a while. So I was like, that's odd. There were other people I hadn't heard from in a while that I just assumed, based on past experiences with those people, that they had an issue with me, which is also fine because some of those people I wasn't as close with as I was with Joe DeRosa, one being Bill Burr. You know, I wasn't that close with Bill Burr outside of the show. You know, we would talk walking out of the studio or to the parking garage or something, very rarely. But for the most part, what you heard on the air was pretty much the only conversations I had with Bill Burr. And now I sensed Bill Burr had a problem with me, and I haven't spoken to Bill, so I'm not going to go off on him or anything like that. I'd be a hypocrite for doing that. But I sense there is an issue. And knowing Bill over the years and the talks we've had on the air, I can assume pretty confidently that Bill Burr has a problem with Anthony Cumia. Again, that's fine. You know, Bill does what he does. I think he's very funny. He's a good actor. He's getting some heat in Hollywood as far as movies go, and you know that makes people maybe shy away from things, walk on eggshells a little more. You don't want to lose your place because of some dummy radio disc jockey that you are friends with or happen to defend or talk about or anything. So I have no qualms there. I'm stating what I believe, and that is that he has a problem with me. DeRosa, on the other hand, is a different story because me and Joe would hang out, go out drinking. I always found Joe a fun guy to hang out with. So I'm not going to sit here and bash him on that front. He could drink with the best of them. Many a cool, fun night out at the bars with Joe. And he'd been here to the house and hung out, and that's all cool. We had fun. So when I hear him on Joe Rogan's show talking about the situation that happened with me in Times Square with the black chick, she started giving me shit because I was taking pictures and punching me in the head, and I reacted with zero violence, and I tweeted about it angrily, and I got in trouble for it. I didn't apologize. I still don't apologize. There's nothing to apologize about. Some fucking animal hits me, and I'm supposed to apologize in this new culture of bullshit we live in? Fuck that. Ain't going to happen. And Joe had a problem with that. Now, he even says he was kind of okay with that, kind of. But then he goes off on this thing about me being on a white nationalist show. I guess that was the, what was that called? The political cesspool. This was right when me and Keith started firing this whole thing up, knowing that we had to get it off the ground very quickly and everything. And I was being booked on a lot of podcasts by Keith. Keith's a cop. I don't think Keith's ever been a booker for a talent going on talk shows. But regardless, maybe due diligence wasn't done. I don't know. So I was booked on that show, and I went on it. And as we were talking, I was sitting right at my bar outside. We're talking, and subject matter is coming up that I have opinions on, and I gave my opinions on them. One of which was twisted around so poorly that, of course, the liberal sites picked it up as being racist. It's my little rant on the Apollo program, the lack of diversity in that Apollo 11 launch that put men on the moon. The lack of diversity in the control room, and how it's fashionable in this day to trash white men. I've heard this said by many people. Something as simple as from commercials to politics. Something as important as politics, or as simple as television commercials. White men are open game for mocking and many times during a presidential or congressional election, you'll hear people go, oh, what do we want in there? Another old white guy? And it goes by without anybody calling it out as being racist or just something-ist. No one ever calls it out. And I was just saying, why is it always so bad to say, oh, a bunch of old white guys, a room full of white guys. And my point was that without any diversity, they got together and put a man on the moon. You look in those control rooms and the people that built the equipment and everything, you're going to see predominantly white men working on there. Probably 99% white men working on those programs. I didn't bring up or say or include the conversation as to why it wasn't diverse in those control rooms and everywhere else. I didn't bring that up. That's another conversation. I understand the lack of education and that was available to blacks and women back then. I get it. I'm not that fucking stupid, regardless of what some people say. I was just commenting on the fact that without diversity, these mocked in this day and age white men put a man on the moon. An amazing accomplishment. That was my point. And of course, it's taken as, well, Anthony is saying that black people shouldn't be involved in the space program, or women shouldn't be involved. He's sexist and homophobic and racist, and I'm everything. I'm everythingist. So I caught a bunch of shit for that. Now, if Joe DeRosa, a friend of mine who has my fucking phone number, wanted to know what I was doing on a white nationalist show, he should have fucking called me up or texted me or something. And I would have explained to him how goofy it was that a police officer recently retired was booking my fucking gigs and booked me on the show. And also, I'll make a point of saying I'm not apologizing for being on the show or for what I said on the show. I didn't know I was going on that. Perhaps we would have made a different decision had I known I was going on that show, but I didn't. You know, I didn't know, and we did the show, and it was fine. I didn't care. I got my point out to their audience. Whatever. But, there you go. Is that his latest tweet? I'm not sorry. I will not apologize. Sound familiar? Oh, Joe, what is he, a 16-year-old girl? Holy shit. I got to deal with chick tweets. My last Joe DeRosa tweet was last night, and I said, I'm not going to do this on Twitter. That's pretty much what I said. It was like, Joe, you know, ask your black friends if you can talk to me. I'm not going to do this on Twitter. Because another statement he makes is he's talking to Joe, and Joe's being so fucking reasonable. And I'm not saying Joe's agreeing with me at all. He calls me out on a few things. I love Joe Rogan. He's a reasonable guy. Oh, I like this Joe Rogan. He's a reasonable man. So, you know, but he's doing it logically, not with all this fucking emotion. And with whatever information he really has that he garnered himself. And if he didn't have the information, as he said, he hadn't spoken to me personally about the situation. And he said that on his show. He goes, so I can't say this, that, or the other thing. He's very logical and very even-tempered, believe it or not. And Joe DeRosa, on the other hand, is going off like a little fucking girl, like a hurt chick. And then he's like, what am I supposed to say to my black friends? He actually said that. What am I supposed to say to my black friends if I stayed in contact with him? What am I supposed to say to the cool kids at school if I'm seen talking to the nerd? Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, whoa. Put the little earring in, Joe, as you walk away from from detention. Oh, my God. What the fuck, Joe? What are you thinking? You should have just fucking called. Should have called. Anthony, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing on a national fucking white power, whatever the fuck radio show? Oh, yeah, Joe. Yeah, Keith the cop booked that. It's a cop. But, you know, whatever. I'll go on anybody's show. I don't give a shit. Why should I care? What is this, guilt by association fucking show? So, fuck it. But he decided not to get involved with that. Keith?
And you know what? You still haven't apologized, and you should apologize for this. Rat, can you bring that up, please?
Oh, boy. What did I do?
Can you bring that up? This is the documentary on Afronauts.
Oh, the Afronauts documentary.
Yeah. They were putting people into space at the same time that you went on that show and said they had no accomplishments.
I apologize. I know. There was, where were they? Liberian astronauts? Or Zimbabwe? But they, back in the 60s, were training in, some of the most cutting-edge equipment that they had available to themselves. Oh, Jesus. These are, African astronauts from the space program. I don't know what this is. I can't hear it. We don't have audio for it? I'm sure it would just make it worse. I'm sure it would just make it worse. There's Joe, and we had a good thing going for quite a while, and I thought I'd be able to actually speak to him about it, and then he went on Rogan's show and kind of shit on me and I think he shit on the radio show at some point too. Fuck him. I'll wait. I'll put him on. I got shit happening today, but if he wants to fucking be on the show, I'll absolutely have him on the show. Yeah. Maybe? What do you think?
He'll call now if you want.
Will he? Mm-hmm. Oh, you talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get him on the fucking phone. Why not? All right, we'll talk to fucking Joe. See what the hell. Boo. Well, we weren't expecting this, were we?
No.
That's good. Good. We hash it out then. We'll fucking hash it out right now. Because it's getting Twitter-fied. I hate the Twitterification of things. Nope. Is that him?
Yeah.
All right. Joe DeRosa?
Yes.
You're live on the program, sir.
Ian, is that you?
It certainly is, and we're live.
Yes. I know we're live. Can you hear me okay? I'm actually in my car, and I'm parked on the street, and I'm wearing my shitty Apple headphone headset.
Yeah.
Is the connection okay?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Okay.
Perfectly. All right, Joe.
Well,
I watched your appearance on Joe Rogan, who I adore. I love Joe Rogan. And it came off like you, after being friends with me for as long as we have and really hanging out and not just, radio station friends and shit like that you took what you read and heard secondhand and decided to make a decision to shun me based on that instead of getting in touch with me and asking me, hey, Anthony, what did you do that show for? Hey, Anthony, why'd you say that on Twitter? What about these other topics that you're covering? Hey, Ferguson, you said this. Instead of one word, you decide to 16-year-old girl not follow me anymore on Twitter, which is hilarious, and then go on Rogan's show and give me shit.
Well, I can explain to you where I was coming from with that.
All
and, so, number one, first and foremost, that was not what my intention was to do. There was no part of me that was like, I'm going to go on Rogan's show and give Anthony shit today. And that wasn't what I was trying to do. Now, here's the thing, Ant. I'm totally 110% open to discussing this.
Yeah.
But I keep getting the same note, if you will, on Twitter from people going, you're a bitch, you're making it personal. And then out of the other side of their mouths, they're saying, why didn't you talk to Anthony? So it's like, well, which is it? Is it not allowed to be personal, or is it I should have been personal and talked to Anthony?
Well, there's personal, which is getting on the phone and talking to me would be making it personal. That would be me and you talking about it, personally, man to man. Twitter, don't put any. First of all, why? Why are you putting so much credence in what the people on Twitter say? That isn't a reflection of me or you or anything else, but the people of Twitter. You know how that goes. We've talked about it for since the inception of Twitter.
No, I know that, and I guess I'm not putting credence on it in the sense of like, oh, it's bothering me and it's getting to me. I'm just like, look, to be fair, Jim kind of echoed that sentiment today on Opie and Jimmy, and I just kind of my point isn't to bring up Twitter. My point is to bring up, I'm sort of repeatedly hearing this concept of like, well, you made it personal on the Rogan show, yet you didn't talk to your friend. And I'm like, okay, well, it's either got to be personal or not personal. So here's my point.
Yeah.
From a personal standpoint, this is what I felt. I felt that I did reach out to you a few times. I felt that I didn't hear back from you a few times. I felt that you and I have never really had a phone relationship. And you and I, after all the years of our friendship, have kept it pretty fucking light.
Oh, yeah.
Have kept it pretty fucking light. Now, here's the other thing I know about our friendship. When we have disagreed on, mainly the thing I remember most disagreeing with you about was stuff about guns.
Yeah.
And look, you would like yell, and you'd get angry at me, and like I don't care that you got angry. I wasn't like, oh, why is he yelling at me? But I was just like, all right, man. Like when Anthony and I talk about that shit, it turns into like a big screaming match. So these are the factors that were influencing. Like, okay, well, how do I approach Anthony about this, and what do I do? But I still shot you those texts, man. You know the text I sent you, and I said, hey, man, I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry this is happening. I hope you're okay. Thank you for all the years of laughter and everything. And I said on Rogan's show yesterday, I am fully aware that I owe most of my career to Opie and Anthony. I was very clear about that. That's something that's not getting mentioned anywhere by anybody.
All right.
So I am 110% grateful for that and indebted for that. There's no part of me that takes that for granted.
If I could just go, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and you're skirting the actual issue here, which is you reached out, you said, hey, Anthony, I hope things are going well for you, things like that, and that's all well and fine. We didn't have a phone call relationship. I don't have a phone call relationship with anybody. Ask my brother. I never even talked to him on the phone. It's all text. We would have funny text exchanges with the capital letters and the dice shit every so often, and it was hilarious and stuff. But my issue isn't with we didn't text or tweet or get back. It's you never, when it got serious, and you decided to literally shun me for fear of losing your black friends. You didn't even reach out to me and ask for a clarification on what I was doing.
I'm not trying to skirt. I give too much backstory. I'm a wordy guy, and I realize that. So let me get to the point I was trying to get to slowly, and try to speed it up. My point is this. After we had texted a couple times, and I said, hey, man, let's grab a beer or something. And honestly, Ant, when I wrote that to you, my intention was I need to sit down and have a drink with this guy and try to figure out where he's coming from, because I don't understand where he's coming from right now.
All right.
And I don't agree with it, but let me try to see if he can shed some light on it or something, and blah, blah, blah. Then I started to see the other stuff, or excuse me, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. Then when you started to call the dogs off, and this is where I'm getting called a bitch and all this stuff and whatever, but when you started to call the dogs off of guys like Burr, and you were saying nice things about other people that had reached out to you, so these fucking pests would leave them the fuck alone, and you didn't do that for me, I was like, all right. Again, I wasn't personally offended. I was like, all right, that's just, I guess, a reflection of where we stand. Maybe we're not as good of friends as I thought we were.
You were really jumping to conclusions there, Joe, because the truth of the matter is the reason I wasn't able to hang out and have a beer with you, and I probably in error didn't say, hey, Joe reached out to me and it was cool, is I was trying to get this fucking thing up and running with Keith in 30 days after getting my ass thrown out of a very good job. And a lot of things slipped my mind. You could ask everybody that I have a personal relationship with how distant I have been the past fucking month and a half now, or whatever it is, 2 months, as this project's going, because I literally don't have any time to do anything anymore. The 2 hours that I'm on is the 2 hours that I'm not trying to do something else as far as making this better and make it work. So I'm sorry you didn't know that, and you shouldn't have known that. How the fuck would you? But that's the reason a lot of neglect got thrown around on my part as far as that goes. I'll fess up to that I probably should have at least written you back and let you know what was going on. But again, to go on Joe's show, and I know you didn't intend on doing it. Joe Rogan's very good with relaxing people and getting people to talk openly and honestly, and I love that about him. But it was obviously on your mind and bothering you enough to, I didn't even notice till today, by the way, or yesterday, by the way, that you had unfollowed me on Twitter. But it bothered you enough to have done that and to have talked about it very passionately on Joe's show about how, I was pretty much garbage that needed to be, tossed out.
I don't look at it in any way. And by the way, I'm saying this very honestly to you, because I was a little upset today that there were one or two comments that Jim had made on the show this morning about what I did seemed very calm and planned, or something along those lines. I'm kind of paraphrasing what he said, and I was a little offended by that because I felt like it sounded like what I did was I sat there for weeks and said, you know what, I'll show Cumia he's a piece of shit and I'll get him good. That's not what it was.
That's
not what it was.
I don't think it was that planned. I don't think, regardless of what Jimmy might have thought, and that's what his opinion was. I can't base what I'm thinking on what Jimmy his opinion was, but I think part of it. I think for a while you've been trying to showboat and impress for maybe people like Andy Kindler. And taking that stance on it, and maybe not checking with me to see what really happened, because it's a little more convenient for you to just say, yeah, fuck that asshole. No. Hey, did you see these assholes, Andy? You see what they're fucking saying about me too now? It kind of puts you in the same camp.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. And I mean, if we're going to talk about assumptions being made about one another, I'm offended that so many people that people are assuming that that's what I'm doing. I'm so needy and desperate somehow that I moved out to Hollywood and suddenly I'm terrified and need the acceptance of certain people. It's I stuck up for Andy. I didn't even realize why people were attacking Andy. I wasn't at Montreal this year. I didn't even put those pieces together until well into my defense of him. I was defending him because people were seeing that he and I were palling around back and forth on Twitter and tweeting me horrific shit about him. And I was going, dude, he's fucking hilarious. I love the guy.
Again, the tweet thing, huh?
And that slowly morphed into and then I was like, oh, now I get it. They're mad at him because I found out he said this stuff about it. So that's what that was. Mm-hmm. That's all that was. Look, let's get to the core of it, man.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we could go back and forth about I should have done this and I misinterpreted that, or you were busy, or whatever. At the core of it, I felt like it got to a point when I saw some of your tweets about Ferguson,
Yeah.
and I saw that you had gone on that white nationalist program, I was like, okay, I'm clear. Like, we've reached a point where I so disagree with where Anthony's coming from with this stuff that it would be tough for us to even maintain a friendship.
Do you?
So I'm just gonna slide back from it, and that's the end of it. And I was like, what good? Let's say we did talk on the phone. What was it gonna do?
Well, maybe not on the phone, but yeah, going out or something would have been a good idea. But
what would have been a good idea?
Like going out for a beer, like you said, like that. Not a phone call or anything like that. Hanging out and you. I mean, we have been hanging out for a while, and like you said, we've kept it light. But was there ever an Do you think I'm a Nazi? Do you think I'm a Nazi or an anti-Semite or truly a racist that doesn't want to be around black people? Do you honestly believe that?
And I never, ever, ever in a million years did believe it. But when I saw, when it got to, and this is what I said on Rogan yesterday, when it got to the point of you going on that show and then tweeting the stuff you tweeted about Ferguson, I was just like, what the fuck is Anthony doing? It was beyond anything I had ever heard you say, dude. It was beyond it.
I don't think anything I tweeted about Ferguson, by the way, was so far out there. I was tweeting an opinion on a case that hadn't even been investigated yet when they had already convicted the police officer. So I was just talking about that. I talked about the horrid behavior of some of the protesters. And then I talked about how bad, most of what I talked about was how fucked the media was for putting the circus on and playing everybody like puppets. That was my biggest argument about it. I don't think I was saying anything like, let's get the water hoses and fucking German shepherds down in Ferguson. I wasn't saying anything like that. If you've noticed over the years, whenever I've talked about racial subject matter, it's usually with a very calculated, logical, passionate, but backed up with statistics and whatnot. I don't just go off on racist tirades about let's start getting nooses and shit like that. I just don't do that. Whenever I do tweet anger and words like animal and savage, it's because I'm seeing animalistic or savage behavior. And when I tweeted about that girl in Times Square that hit me, it's because she fucking hit me, Joe. That's why I was that angry about it, and that's why I used the language I did. She was acting like a fucking uncaged animal, and that's what I called her, regardless of her fucking race. But people like you and Kindler and a bunch of other liberals just see more color than I ever do and say, well, she's black, he's white, he used the word animal, racist, and then it goes all over Gawker and the other shit sites, and then people like you and Kindler and the other liberal assholes pick it up, and I'm the fucking douchebag without one personal call or anything to let me explain my side.
Ed, if you're gonna ask me to have more of an open mind as to assume you're racist, have the equal open mind with me. Liberal? Come on, dude. Come on, man. You're gonna call me a liberal asshole now?
When
have I ever not taken the un-PC stance on something? When have I ever not spoken my mind and held to my opinion? Here's what's killing me about this, dude. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me respond to two things you just said. Number one, had you said, and Dino Hughley said the same fucking thing on the radio. Had you said her, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. You didn't say her. You said they. You said that community. And once this goes to that and this person turns into them, now you're speaking in massive generalities. And that's when it starts to sound racist.
No, you know what?
Okay?
Why? Okay, let me answer that because I know the context I wrote that in. When I say they, it doesn't go from her to everybody. They is more than her. It's not everybody, but it's everybody that jumps to fucking violence which there is a propensity of in the black community. I've talked about how community leaders, religious leaders, politicians have talked about. There's been rallies about violence in the community. We have to silence the violence. That's the they I was talking about. People that instantly jump to violence because your shoe is stepped on the subway or someone's taken a picture of you. That's the they. The they didn't include a fucking Wall Street executive, African American that I look at with a family and responsibilities and a job, and I'm going, well, fuck him too. Put him in the they category. I never fucking said or meant that. The context of what I say has been twisted around. It makes me fucking nauseous.
Okay. Listen, if that's your argument, then that's your argument. But when I saw you repeatedly have the opportunity to explain what you even just said now publicly, and your response was just, I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It was like, dude, like that. That's where I start. And when I'm sorry, dude, but listen, I said yesterday that when you went on that fucking tirade on Twitter, that I was like, he's mad, and this is a little nuts to me right now, but he's mad, and I'm just going to step back and see how this plays out.
He's mad because he was assaulted. That's the part they leave out of every fucking story. But, okay, continue.
And listen, I said you were assaulted yesterday.
Right.
I never said you weren't assaulted.
I know. I just like to bring it up because a lot of people leave it out of their little articles and whatnot.
But my point is like if you're the way it came across, if you're driving, okay, let's change it to like a thing. Let's say you're driving, and
this better not be like that pizza. This better not be like that pizza parlor analogy.
I love the pizza parlor analogy.
I
thought it was a good analogy.
Oh my god,
huh?
I hated it. All right,
why?
And because it stunk. Anyway, okay, I'm driving.
Right. Anyway, let's say you were driving, and a Mexican dude blows through a light or cuts you off or whatever and almost causes you to get into an accident.
Right.
And you start screaming, "You fucking asshole Mexican."
Yeah.
And whatever. "You fucking Mexican cocksucker," blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, the person in the car with you might go, all right, he's saying a little crazy shit right now, but Jesus Christ, that was dangerous and he's angry. I'm going to let him slide on the anger factor for a few minutes here. He's behind the wheel, whatever. But if you start screaming, that's the problem with that community, is they fucking do this and they all do that. That's when it starts to get confusing, and it starts to sound like, what the fuck does that one dude and his bad action and this one scenario have to do with all those other people?
You're right, okay? But let's say everyone in your town, when you pull into your driveway with your freshly dented car from the Mexican, all of your neighbors have dented cars from Mexicans. Maybe that's why everyone goes, fuck, those Mexicans are running into my car all the time.
Yeah, do all of your neighbors and friends have a story about getting slapped by a woman in Times Square?
Absolutely not.
As far as I know, you're the only one that has that story.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I am the only one, not the only one that has been assaulted by a person of color. That's for sure not the fact, because I know other people that have been. It's not a huge number. I understand that, which is why I still go out. And why people go out. If it was a crazy number, everyone would stay in their house. What I'm saying is, I was pissed off. I was assaulted by this woman. There were 4 or 5 other black guys that had come to the scene who instantly were making threatening remarks to me as far as, don't you put your hands on that girl, which, by the way, I wasn't even close to putting my hands on her. And that's when I started with they, because it was this communal thing. All of a sudden, the girl who was smacking me in the fucking head was the victim, regardless. And I deemed, I assumed, and as I still do, that it was based on color, that they were the same color as her, and assumed that I was giving her shit. I don't know. But that's also where they came from. I was talking about the group of people that I encountered that night that were had a propensity toward violence.
And
yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and I say this not to. By the way, I realize I'm a justifying asshole, and I put a disclaimer in front of everything that comes out of my fucking mouth. But it's just the way I talk. Let me ask you this, dude. You explain this to me, because you asked me earlier, Joe, do you really think I'm a racist? Do you really, really believe this? Can you explain to me?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why you're the one that said that stuff on Twitter?
Yeah.
You're the one that went on Red Eye and did what you did. You're the one that went on the White Nationalist radio show.
Right.
You're the one that tweeted what you tweeted about Ferguson. You're the one that did those things.
Yeah.
And somehow, I'm the fucking asshole for not going because I didn't call you or handle my thing in an appropriate way. It's like, why is it okay that you did all the things your ethical code told you to do and the way you need to do them, yet when anybody questions it or speaks out against it, they've wronged you, they've scorned you, and they're the fucking asshole?
Well,
as far as I can tell, I just acted with the same vehemence and backbone that you did. It just happened to be a little more directed at you.
Okay. Well,
how am I any more wrong or right or whatever than you were?
Well, I think that's why it's on more of a personal level, but I'll get back to that. Let me get to the initial thing you had asked about. You listed all these things that I was on. I don't have any regrets, or I don't take back anything I say, aside from saying that I did tweet the initial tweets about that girl in anger 5 minutes after, and those were over the top. I understand that. I still feel very passionately about what I did right about certain issues. I said if what I was guilty of was tweeting about how angry I was at an individual, and then in the same Twitter thread put social commentary in there, which was very easy to take and mix up and put together and make me look very bad. I understand that was my fault. As far as Red Eye goes, I didn't do anything on Red Eye that I wasn't extremely proud of. I talked about why would I be apologetic? I was so sick every day going into the Opie and Anthony show and listening to recordings of meaningless apologies of people that were just trying to keep their job, that I was then going to be that guy that I didn't mean it. I want to apologize to the black community and those that I've offended. Ugh, I could never do that and have an ounce of credibility or self-respect left. So what I said on Red Eye, it was all, and what I wrote about Ferguson on Twitter. The reason I can say those things and I shouldn't be crucified for them is because like I said, they're very calculated, very thought out opinions about social situations that are going on today. I don't write, let's get the fire hoses like we did in 1960. I don't write shit like that. I write well-measured opinions on very sensitive topics. And I'm very proud of those too. And the reason you catch shit is because what I'm writing about and talking about is a giant social issue. What you did was jump on one of your friends and start fucking shanking them. I
didn't jump on you.
Well, yeah, you kind of did. You kind of did, Joe. Maybe a little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
Look, your impressions still make me laugh. What can I say? Look, I didn't jump. Hold on. There's two things I want to respond to.
Okay.
First of all, I appreciate your fire hose thing, but if you're going to say my pizza parlor analogy was shit, please stop saying the fire hose thing. We can all agree that there are different levels of and ways of being racist. Racism isn't strictly defined by get out the fire hoses and the nooses.
Nowadays, whatever you say about race, you criticize the president, you're put in the same category of racist as if you did have the pizza or the fire hose.
Well, listen, I don't know if I agree with that, and I think that's also a very different discussion.
It is.
From what we're discussing.
Yeah.
But my point is like I'm allowed to think somebody's racist even though they didn't write "go get fire hoses" on Twitter. Now I say this a lot, about situations and forming my opinions. And my opinion on this situation was also formed carefully. Okay, I didn't knee-jerk respond. Okay, if I was one of these, one of the liberal assholes, as you put it, with a blog that shit on you, I would have been shitting on you the day after it happened, Anthony. And I wasn't. And I don't think I shit on you yesterday. I said repeatedly that I thought of you as a friend and that I was sad that I felt that I had lost a friend because we were at such a different place when it came to a subject like this that I was like, I don't think I can hang out with a guy that I disagree with on this topic this much.
Well, all right, go ahead.
The reason, and by the way, dude, I know we disagree right now.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at you.
No.
I'm speaking passionately. I hope. I honestly want to have a very respectful discussion. I'm just passionate about this.
No. That's the same thing when you were saying earlier about how when we talk about guns, I would start yelling. A lot of it wasn't yelling at you. I yell all the time. One of my biggest things, Jimmy would look over and start laughing because I'm just yelling. He goes, and he'd mouth out. He goes, "What are you yelling about?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And
okay.
I know I'm a fucking guinea, and you're whatever the fuck you are, and I guess it's two people that talk with their hands and yell a lot.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So yeah, when I say I form my opinion carefully, what I'm trying to say is any one of these things isolated, and maybe I didn't do a great job of conveying this yesterday, but any one of these things isolated, I would have went, man, that's fucking unfortunate, but all right, let's see how it plays out, or whatever. When it's all the things together, and quite frankly, my breaking point was when I saw a tweet from you that said, I'm paraphrasing, and I don't know if it was just a tweet you wrote or you were responding to somebody, but you had written, when you break, and it was about the Ferguson kid, when you break the law, you take your life into your own hands. And I was just like, that's, number one, painfully not true. It's just not true.
All right.
And number two, it sounds to me now, and then I saw another tweet where somebody wrote to you and said, like, hey, what is your recommendation for the best gun cleaning kit? And you responded with a picture of black gang members. It's like, dude, it just... where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was so much fucking smoke at that point.
First of all, all right, I hear you, but again, the fucking black gang members. Now, if I really wanted to piss people off, I'd have put a picture of fucking Michael Brown on the tweet, but I put gang members that obviously were not the best people in society as that picture. The other tweet about when you break the law, you take the life in your hands. I'm talking about everybody, and I'm talking about the snowball cascading reaction that can happen with something as simple as shoplifting. The second you decide to break the law, it could end in you or someone else being dead. It's just the nature of crime and how people feel about it. I wasn't saying that if you steal something, you should be shot and killed. I was saying that if you decide to steal something, you better think about the future consequences. And by the future, I mean a couple of seconds, minutes, hours, a week, whatever it is. When you decide to do that, you are literally, you could be taking your life into your hands. That was my point. It's very hard in 140 characters to really convey everything you want in an idea.
I'll say this. I listen. What you just said is a fair point to me, but when that point is less worded, obviously because of the Twitter thing, okay? And every time, I just felt like, everything you were saying, what I'm trying to get at is I felt like everything you were saying from the time of the Twitter thing, the initial Twitter thing that you got fired for, up through and including the Ferguson stuff, it was all black. Everything kept coming back to black. And I was like, I just don't know how else to look at this. It started to me like you got fired, and you were like, I'll fucking show you now. I'll prove my point about these people.
You know what?
And the campaign was that.
I do believe there is that type of resentment that goes into when you lose your job because you feel you were unjustly made the perpetrator of something, which is exactly what happened to me. I was a victim of an assault on the street, and how it turned out was I got fired for voicing my displeasure with being smacked by this bitch in the face. So when you say that, you're right. There is a certain amount of resentment that comes into play when you lose your job because of a societal fucking bullshit PC cloud that we're all under, that we now have to walk on eggshells and we're fucked with. Yeah, there is a certain amount of resentment toward that. And I was picking out various examples that I could put down of violence that is being perpetrated at a disproportionate number. Yes, I did. But again, I would point these out with statistics and in a very even tempered way. If you didn't like it, like I didn't know I had a 3 strikes rule with Joe DeRosa, that, you know, a couple of things were okay, but I passed the line of being able to be your friend anymore. And your line about how can I go to my black friends and say that I still, you know, have any contact with him was, it was terrible. Who the fuck gives a shit what any of your friends, white, black, Chinese, or whatever, have to say about who you hang out with or who you even talk to about an issue you have with them? Yeah.
You're going to tell me.
Yeah.
You're going to tell who gives a shit? Clearly everybody, Anthony. I spoke out against you, and I'm getting fucking hell from people about it. So clearly people take into account how other people are going to feel about what they say about them. Or the company they keep. You obvious, and I didn't.
You're talking way, Twitter people.
When I said that,
yeah.
But hold on a second. It's not just Twitter people. It's not just Twitter people. And when I said that, I didn't say, "Oh God, you know, I would hang out with Anthony, but it's just I'm so darn scared about what my black friends might say." I didn't say that. What I said was, you know, when you have to honestly ask yourself, is this a problem with my black friends if I hang out with this dude? Maybe there's some actual racism happening at that point.
Maybe there's some irrational thought on your part to even think that, are my black friends going to have a problem with me talking? You tell them to go fuck themselves, or you tell me to my face, like, to go fuck myself or something. It's the way it was handled, Joe. It's just the way it was handled. It came off as kind of, I don't know, kind of cheap and unfriend-like is all. That's what I think. Nah.
Well, you're absolutely entitled to that opinion for obvious reasons that I don't need to state. I don't have a legion of people behind me that are now going to call you a cunt and a traitor every seven fucking seconds.
I get enough shit, bro. Believe me, I get enough shit on Twitter.
You know, I just think it's hilarious that you spoke your mind about a situation and got shit for it, and then I spoke my mind about a situation and got shit for it, but I'm somehow getting shit from the people that supported you for how you shouldn't have gotten shit for your situation.
Maybe they saw I had more justification in what I was saying than you did in saying what you said.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I would say this, Ant, like, and I mean this, dude. I think, and look, again, I'm going to recognize the more shit that I'm going to now get for saying this, but I say this to you, dude, as somebody that honestly gives a shit about your well-being.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this road is a good road. And to me, when I saw the Ferguson thing, I was like, you know what? You know what I would have thought Anthony would have said? The guy that I knew would have said, hey, this is why I'm a supporter of gun rights. So when some fucked up crooked cop shoots at you, you can defend yourself if you have to.
Yikes.
That's the Anthony Cumia that I knew.
Maybe on that planet that when Kirk beamed aboard and the transporter was bad and he beamed aboard the bad Enterprise with the Spock with the goatee, maybe that Anthony might have said it. But me, on the other hand, until I found out it was a crooked cop, the more evidence that came in, the more it looked like this cop was beaten in some way, shape, or form. And the guy was more thug than this high school graduate prince of the city there. And the more that came out, the more it looked like just another one of these assaults that happen. You instantly say crooked cop that shoots him. It just seems, why jump to that conclusion?
Because he was shot in the back. Witnesses have come up and said the kid's hands were up in the air.
He wasn't shot in the back. Do you know every coroner? There were 3 coroners that did 3 separate autopsies on him, and none of them have said he was shot in the back. They were all front shots, and then one to the top of his head. That was it. None in the back. It also indicated that he didn't have his hands up. These are all the facts that are coming in that I was talking about.
News reports 2 days ago said witnesses came forth 2 days ago and said his hands were in the air.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm reading shitty news feeds, I don't know. But my point is that was in the news.
Witnesses to that crime in that neighborhood may be embellishing things. I don't know. But when you put it together, all the witnesses with all the forensics that the grand jury is going to come up with in a few more weeks, then we can make a more educated guess as to what happened in that parking lot, but on that road. Until then, I don't see a crooked cop. What I see is a guy that intimidated, at the very least, a store owner to get away with taking stuff for free. And 15 minutes later, he was lying in the street dead. And that's the facts we have. So when I write about Ferguson, it's not from a place of hate and racism and this and that and the other thing. I am basing it like I did with the Trayvon Martin thing and everything, which I caught shit for, and called it 100% accurate as far as the trial went. And if you look at even the white guy there, Pistorius, I called this fucking thing 6 months ago that they didn't accuse him of convict him of murder charges. So I really do take a lot more time than a lot of people think looking into these cases and getting the facts. And when I say them, they are contrary to a lot of what the liberal media puts out there. So I'm looked at as the liar. It's insane. But I go off.
Listen, in the interest of not digressing into a Ferguson discussion.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this, and as much as you're saying to me right now, Joe, I felt you handled it shitty after all the stuff we've been through.
Uh-huh.
And after all the shit we've been through, can you think maybe for a minute that maybe you did some stuff that caused me to act in a way that I have never acted with you ever?
I
sat in studio with you. I sat in studio with you through the George whatever the fuck his name, Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin debates.
Yeah.
I sat with you in studio while you gave your hard opinions on race, on guns, on whatever.
Yeah.
Did I ever once take an opportunity to run and throw you under some fucking bus?
No, but that would have been very silly to do because it was us talking about a subject on the radio. Why would you throw me under the bus personally for something that I was doing on the show? That would have been silly.
I'm saying if my motives were impure, I could have done this a long time ago.
I'm not.
It's my point.
Right. And I'm saying I don't think you meant to say, let me fucking throw Anthony under the bus. I just think the way you handled your distancing yourself from me came off a little pissy is all. That's all.
Okay. And what I'm asking you is, can you find it anywhere in yourself right now to say, if Joe oddly distanced himself from me in this pissy way that doesn't align with the friendship we've had and the behaviors that he's exhibited over the last 6 years or whatever it's been, maybe a little of this is me and my behavior and freaking him out a little bit.
I can understand you being
like,
freaked out. Again, especially from the initial tweets that I put out about that bitch in Times Square. But after that, I don't think anything I've said or tweeted about race relations in this country has been any off kilter of what I've been saying on the air for years about a very sensitive issue is all. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why all of a sudden it all added up in your head to being this. I don't know.
You don't think any of the stuff? You don't think going on a white nationalist radio show was just a tick further down the road than anything you had ever expressed on the air before?
Joe, I could see you going like, wow, what the fuck is he doing? But I would have loved a call or text going, wow, what the fuck are you doing? Instead of just assuming that I was like, cool, I'm on this show. Like I said, Keith was doing my bookings. I didn't even know. There was a list of 20 podcasts that I was doing that I would just call up and be on. I had no idea what most of their subject was. In the 6 or 4 weeks that I had to get this fucking show up and running, I wanted to get my name out there as much as possible. So the due diligence in researching some of these shows probably took a back seat to me just wanting the Anthony Cumia Show being out there on the digital airwaves. Was that a mistake? Apparently, with quite a few people, it was. But again, I could have cleared that up with you in seconds. You know, I think you're a reasonable guy.
It was the tough thing. The tough thing for me to, because I as of today, before you just said that, for the first time heard the explanation of like, well, he didn't know what kind of show it was. Yeah. And my gut reaction to that was, or my knee-jerk reaction to that was, yeah, but Anthony is so well-read, and the support to justify everything else he's done has been, he's well-read. Here are statistics. He's a guy that researches the argument. Yet, when here's this thing where you can kind of get nailed to the cross on it, all of a sudden it's like, well, he didn't know.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not. I didn't know. I knew they were a far right show, but I didn't know about a white nationalist show. I honestly was making calls to podcasts outside, one after another. It was just another fucking podcast. But you know that again. No excuse. I'm not sitting here trying to excuse it. I was on it. I spoke my piece about subject matter that they seem to enjoy, and what have you. But you've known me longer than to know that I'm fucking, the next Hitler. I don't think you think I'm starting a National Socialist movement or anything.
I would hope not. I would hope not. You would hope not. Look, see. I'll say that. I'll say this. As much as I disagree with the stuff you've said and the stance or approach you've taken with it, if it was more appropriate somehow for me to, and I'm saying this without fully understanding it.
Okay.
But if in some way it was somehow the right thing for me to do, or the ethical thing for me to do, to call you and come at you head on about, I don't like the shit you're saying, I don't think I can hang out with you anymore, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And if that's what I truly should have done in the greater cosmic law of things, then I should have done that, and I didn't realize it.
Well, I don't think you should have come at me and said, like, I can't hang out with you. I think calling or something and saying, hey, dude, I heard this and that, and I heard you said this. What's the deal? I would have been like, oh, fuck, yeah. And I would have explained to you what that was, and I think you might have come away with a different outlook on the whole thing. But, Joe Rogan. It's Joe Rogan's show. That's fine.
Say what?
But then, going on Joe Rogan's show instead and voicing it there,
Well, the only reason I voiced it on Joe Rogan's show was because we started discussing it, and, and then you're having a discussion, and one thing leads to another, and it all comes out in the fucking wash. As I said, there was no, when I left there yesterday, there was no part of me that was like, oh, I just aired my dirty personal laundry with Anthony.
Yeah.
I felt like, honestly, you would have heard it and been, and again, maybe I'm thinking of you on the fucking Kirk planet or whatever. I thought you would have heard it and been like, hey, what are you going to do? The Rosa didn't agree with me. All right, I get it. This is how I feel. He doesn't agree, and all right, that's it, man.
I rarely do that. I was saying the other day, I don't have any friends that I've stopped being friends with for reasons of non-agreement or shit like that. It's usually, I moved or I left a job, or that's how I've like ended friendships. There's only been one, Danny Ross, that ended because, someone turned into a fucking asshole. And depending on who you ask, it's the other one. But that's fair enough. But I don't do things like that. I don't just go, fuck it. Joe doesn't agree with me. Fuck it. I would have wanted to talk it out and stuff. And, if we can wrap it up, because Bailey J is here and she's going to rip ass hair out of Jon Stewart's ass. We actually have that happening on the show today.
Jon Stewart, The Daily Show, Jon Stewart?
No, some Irish guy, Jon Stewart. That.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. But if you're open to it, Joe, and you're in New York, I would like to have you come on the show, or at least we go out and grab a beer and have a couple of drinks, and then duke it out like Irish brothers.
Look, I would.
If your black friends say it's okay.
I would like to continue the discussion with you, because I think we both probably have more to say, and I would like to continue the discussion, honestly.
Is that a date? I think we have a date. It's like fucking The Love Connection over here.
Yeah, it's a date.
Maybe we could go have some of that pizza at that pizza parlor, that imaginary pizza parlor you talked about.
It was a great analogy. I stand by it.
It stunk. All right, Joe.
With the pizza parlor now.
Oh, I hate it. Joe, thanks though for calling and getting the dialogue started and shit like that. And honestly, not just as a fucking bullshit thing. We could all just lay back on Joe until me and Joe get together and talk a little more, and then maybe I'll come back on and say he was an asshole and we should destroy him. But in the meantime, let's just all fucking back off a little bit.
I appreciate you having me on and having a calm and honest debate about this. I really do.
Yeah, no problem. You got any plugs?
Sure.
You got any plugs or anything?
You know what? I'm going to go ahead.
One thing I took away from Opie, that hang up is fucking funny. Thank you, Opie. That was a good one. Well, we sure aired some trash there, Keith, didn't we? And KLT Industries. Yes, trash and recycling is one of those problems that plagues businesses. You have to get rid of it, and the cost of proper disposal of waste gets steeper every year. Our newest sponsor, KLT Industries, they aren't your standard trash company. Instead, KLT offers reasonable rates combined with customer reviews or service, and will pay you more for your cardboard than anyone else out there. KLT recycles over 17,000 tons of cardboard every month and actually pays businesses to help make a smaller impact on the environment. See, they care. In other words, KLT wants your dirty boxes. This isn't about home trash removals. It's not about small mom and pop businesses. This is someone who specializes in larger size businesses with a lot of waste. If you work at a good sized company, do them and yourself a favor and tell the person who makes decisions about cardboard, plastic, and trash contracts to contact KLT Industries. And they're going to come out to your business and do a free waste audit. So for no risk, your company can save money on trash, get more money for your recyclables, and support one of our sponsors. Give KLT a chance and let them come to you for your dirty boxes. KLT Industries, they're the good guys. Big sponsor of what we do here. KLTindustries.com. Very good. Wow. That was, holy shit. An hour and 10, huh?
Yeah, it was long. Would you like to bring the lovely Bailey J in for a couple minutes here?
We should probably go right out.
You want to go out?
To do that. Yeah, I didn't think, obviously, we didn't know that Joe was going to call until we were on the air. So that took up a lot of time. Bailey J, of course, is here waiting patiently out in the bar area with Jon Stewart. He's an Irish gentleman. Look at that bar. What are they all behind the bar now? What are they hiding? There's the stool in the middle. That just looks like an execution is going to happen. This looks like an ISIS video. What the fuck? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Do you think maybe she can say that while she's ripping out
ripping out his ass hair? That looks really ominous. But we'll go out there. Actually, I guess. It's what is it? We'll just get up and go. Why not? We don't have anything to play, really, do we?
Maybe throw up the graphic of.
I didn't think about that. Let me see. We'll play a little music. We'll go, and you'll see me in a second. I swear. Be right out there. Wow, now. Oh, earphones. Ooh, we got batteries. Hope so. Hi guys.
Hey now.
How you doing? Look at this. Ooh. I'll sit here on the bench. I'll sit here. Hey, how we all doing, everybody? Did I turn my mic on? Is it on? Let me see. Oh, it's on. Thank you. I got to put in some headphones. We usually would have a video playing or something right now, but fuck it. Did you hear DeRosa?
I heard your half. I couldn't hear.
Oh, he likes you very much,
Yes.
Bailey. We spoke about that on the Opie and Anthony show. He
You should probably
definitely
touch my boobs to get back at him now, I think.
definitely digs you, right? I should suck your dick to really piss him off.
That'll teach him.
That'll teach him. That'll teach that fucker. All right, let me get a earphone in here. That's how it works. These things are pesky. They're pesky. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is the sacrificial bench. Have you guys spoken? Mm-hmm. Have you spoken with
Yeah,
John?
yeah.
He's from Ireland, I guess. Mm-hmm. What part of Ireland?
Dublin.
Dublin.
Ballyhall Clear.
Dublin. Aye. And you got any opinion on that whole Scottish thing? What's going on? Scotland? I guess Scotland wants to break away from England or something.
We had to do that.
Yeah, you had to
We
do
had
that.
to do that.
So you all for them too?
Yeah.
Saying like,
Well,
fuck.
my last name is actually Scottish, so.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Stuart.
Stuart. Yes.
Oh yeah, Stuart is as we say over here.
No, Stuart. I like that better. Stuart.
Stuart.
And Bailey, come on up.
Yeah, okay.
Come on over. The lovely Bailey J. And where are you from? I mean, now.
Just Warwick.
Warwick.
New York.
Warwick, New York. So you heard the call go out.
I did.
You heard the call, and it was, we need somebody with a relatively hairy ass to come in here and have the lovely Bailey J put wax on it and professionally, rip that fucking hair out.
Before I replied, I didn't even think about all that. I just saw Reddit. Do you want to go on the Anthony Cumia Show? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So,
Yeah.
so then it became this.
It could have been Big A for all.
It could have been Big A. Yeah. Big A's
But
over
don't do
here.
it, though.
of course. No, don't switch it though. You didn't have this allure to a transgendered girl? Maybe no.
There could be something in the background. I don't know.
Could be
but-
something. Could be something in the background. I love it.
I was saying to Dennis and
Yeah. And Big A.
and Keaton. I love how you
Keith.
say shite.
Shite.
Yeah, every time you say that, it just makes me laugh.
Shite.
Just think of home. Yeah.
I
We
could
don't
start
say
using
shit.
it. Well, I hope we don't see any shite today. That's good. Yeah, it's my floor. Colin already ruined it with his Diet Coke, and that's been on the internet. God only knows what some shitey fucking wax strip will do. And Bailey, do you have any experience in waxing?
You'd think I would, right?
You'd think.
But, I wax my legs
That's about
from
it.
time to time.
Yeah.
My butthole can't be too different, right?
You're very hairless.
I'm relatively hairless, all things considered.
All things considered. We've seen the pictures. Don't have to worry about that. we look at that. Well, the past week, we've been promoting and
A week
putting your
straight,
picture
just
up on
looking
the
through the picture.
on the screen. Yeah, there we
Just
go.
looking for one with
That's
no
fine.
balls in it.
So, so when you wax your legs, it's that pre-waxed paper or something.
Yeah, you rub it with your hands and you
Oh,
put it on,
okay.
and it's like a whole thing. This is
Now,
different.
Keith, this is a whole other
Yeah.
thing, right?
Oh,
This
yeah,
is like
legit.
real fucking wax. And now, do you have any inkling of where you're supposed to put it and how you put the
Yes.
paper on?
I have a process, I think. I'm going to basically try to not get it on his asshole.
Right.
But just smear with the hair, smear the paper down, and then pull the opposite direction of the
Opposite-
hair.
oh.
I know that much.
Oh, now, are you a hairy gentleman?
In the area she's talking about, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Does it look like the bunny hills of Ireland? Yes. Oh, boy. All right, well, I don't even know how to get this rolling, so I
Good
guess
segue.
we'll just get it rolling.
How do I
I'll get up, and we will. Keith, you wanna maybe help direct it, maybe, or?
Well, there is a reason why this whole thing happened with how
Oh.
we got to waxing.
How
hands.
did it get to this, Keith? How did my show get to this?
I tweeted something that said, for everyone that thinks I chose to be transgender, they should have to wax their asshole, was the joke.
Oh, I got
And so, and although you're a sweet man and very affirming,
I'm not one of the haters.
You're
now.
not.
Right, of course
you're
not.
taking
No,
on
no,
the
no.
machine, though.
No, but you're taking you're the stand-in
Yeah.
for those people that.
Understood.
I just
Yeah.
thought it was an opportunity.
Yeah. And it's people because some people say like this was a choice.
Right. Oh,
Instead of
totally.
just
And
being
it's just
born.
like, yeah, it's a lot
And
of work.
I do think that there are some people where it's a choice. Certain people, because I think any group of people have a fringe on the outside of people that just want to be in that group. So I think
okay.
it amounts to like when you see little dumb white kids dressing like homeboys and shit and stuff. I think they just want to be part of it.
Be part of a group.
Yeah, so I think there are certain guys that might just be like, I just want to be part of this group.
I haven't met any, but I'm sure there are, and I'm sure they're very annoying.
Probably. But I would say, looking at you over the years, yeah, you probably were definitely born and meant to be
I'd have been the shittiest
a
guy
girl.
on earth.
I don't know what happened. The assembly line, the cock and balls just went, oh, fuck, could you stop? I could just let it go. No, but that's probably what happened. Keith, you've got the hot wax.
Yes, we do have the hot.
Now, how are we positioning
Yeah.
Jon Stewart?
Oh my god.
Jon Stewart.
I think maybe bent over this.
Bent over. All right, head this way. Okay, all right, I think we got it.
Yeah.
All right, sir, if you'd
Protective equipment.
assume the position.
Do I have to put gloves on?
I would.
Okay. Well, I guess it'd be, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're obviously going to have to be around the old
Pants off or
tailpipe.
just pants down?
You're not
my first.
you're not working under the hood today. You're working on the
good to know.
exhaust.
But I got the mic in my.
I got a mic in your
I
ass.
got my mic in my ass. Yeah.
Oh, well,
You
that
just drop them down.
that'll hurt.
This is kind of
Yeah.
long.
I'll grab a Guinness while we.
Yeah. Two, please. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want one? Yeah, I think you need a. I think you're going to need a chaser.
There's something ominous by putting these gloves on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bailey, we're gonna have you stand on this side.
On that side? Okay.
Bailey over there. This will be very symbolic. You will be symbolizing the intolerance of the people that think.
He's got a bird's eye view right there.
That's, oh boy,
Right now.
the hell of a bird.
Okay.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That's good.
Okay, so should I use this stuff first?
Yeah, maybe you
Is
should
that what we
come over
decided?
a little more and have your ass up there.
Oh, why am I drinking dark beer?
Yeah, I guess we could use one of those.
Okay.
There are steps to this.
Right.
And if he likes drinking Guinness, oh boy, that makes for some intolerance back there. Is what,
There'll be a few dark nuggets.
oh man! Oh fuck!
Okay. I'm new at this. Okay, so I'm wiping with this
You
first.
said you knew what you were doing.
I kind of know what I'm
This is
doing.
sanitizing.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
Oh, a little sanitizer. Oh, this could be really bad, right?
We're trying to be
All
very
right.
professional. Okay.
Oh, she's.
Calm before the storm, huh?
The ass cheeks are hairier than you thought they were. I might just end up waxing that.
Oh wow, yeah.
I don't get it.
Preparation for waxing powder. You get a little powder on.
Powder on there.
This is, I don't know. It's steps.
So you're gonna powder his. Oh, it shakes out like a little baby.
All right.
Like a baby. Hey, powder my ass, honey. There it goes.
All right.
Little powder.
I think I feel degraded for the first time in my life right now, which says a lot.
I'll tell you the one thing that didn't quite funnel through is that maternal instinct. You're like, I don't know what the fuck.
Okay.
All I've ever done with one of these is stuck my dick in it.
It's very true.
Oh man, John turned around. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, like turned this. Okay.
All right, the wax is being
How many are we
applied.
doing? When do you think we...
Is it gonna hurt? I mean, like
To the,
heat-wise?
not you. Oh, there it is. Smear it right on. Get a good one.
Feels like caramel.
All right.
All
She's
right.
applying one of these strips.
Wait.
Yeah.
You just do it straight away, or do you not?
Well, I can't wait. Yeah, I gotta do it right now. Otherwise, it's gonna.
Oh, what's that?
That wasn't too bad.
But what's
No,
that?
there's a bald spot. Oh wait, wait, do I show it to? Oh, there's a camera.
Oh, there you go. That's
Oh, the ass
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
I guess you can
see,
put it right in the
Okay.
garbage, right? Right in the
All right.
garbage. Ass hair. Yeah, we'll make a drink out of it later. It'll be wonderful.
Am I doing? How many times?
Is
am I
that
doing
dried? I hope that's some dried wax on his cheek there.
I hope so too.
You can...
Because I've had some of those morning after Guinness episodes, and they're not good. A little more there. She's
Oh, shit.
schmutzing it on, as they say.
Don't be shy. You can get in there.
No.
Oh man,
Maybe you need to help her.
call you schmutzy. There we go. The other side.
Is
It was
hot?
still a little hot, I guess.
Sorry.
And she was going a little deeper. She was going a little deeper than that last one.
Her ass cheeks are stuck.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
Oh my
Might be
God.
the gayest thing I've ever done.
Wow. That's saying something. Oh. Oh. This is ironic because I think she just pulled hair right out of ground zero. It's
I feel guilty.
You know what? I'm seeing dead center there is looking
Yeah.
a little. He fucking. Hey, Jon Stewart's winking at me. And looking at Big A at the same time. It's amazing. Oh my dear Lord.
I feel homophobic right now. That
Right?
says a lot.
You're doing a good job. You've gotten both of the sides.
So am I going for like the bacon strip?
I think you're going right for the crease, as they
Go hard
say.
to go home, isn't it?
Okay.
Go hard or go. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe Curry just walked in. Pull up a seat. Here she goes.
I feel like I got
Put it right in there.
Oh my god.
Oh, look, just like making a fluffernutter. All right, she's putting another strip there, and. Just remember, John, you're representing intolerance and lack of understanding. And wow! I think one more on the other
One more,
side,
just
close
even,
in, yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
you got the.
You got one more in here?
If they were labia,
When in Rome.
you got both majora and one minora. You got to get the other one on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
she's dipping that stick in that wonderful wax honey mixture. There she goes now. Oh, right in. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's gonna. It's gonna be a good one. Oh, criminy. There.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Oh, you've earned your Guinness, Jon Stewart.
Hold on, there's an after cream or something.
After cream.
like
the after cream's in the front of his pants now. He really enjoyed it.
It feels like there's is there still stuff there?
I mean, it's gonna,
Is there still stuff there?
Still feel the heavy.
There's a little wax remover.
there we go. Okay, that's what I'll...
Oh, there you go. A little wax remover. That's what you
It's all
need.
stuck to my.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
For her final act, she's going to pull out a lit candle.
Oh my god.
All right, that's good. Here's where her maternal instincts go away again. She's like, what is this? I don't...
I'm trying to remember to only use my left hand because I took the glove off. Okay.
What are you, a knight? They only wiped with their... There she goes, another glove.
All right.
Thank you for
That's
doing
good.
No problem.
That's,
We're gonna do. What is that?
that was
I
a
already
good
got it off.
job.
Okay.
I got it off. For
Hey,
this
wait,
one.
wait.
Is
Good job
is
there,
another
Bailey.
thing?
This is slow grow. It'll keep his ass from growing back.
Do you want 2 bald spots on your ass for 2 weeks?
How does that work?
It doesn't.
How come they can make shit that doesn't make hair grow, but then the shit that makes your hair grow costs you fucking thousands?
Should it be stinging? Or?
Should it be
Is it
singing so
singing?
much?
Oh, I'm sure it's
like-
probably-
No, that's
All right,
just the
thank
fact
you.
that her
We're
pubes are
done.
growing in. That's very good. Wow, Bailey, you did a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
I was pleasantly surprised at how
This will be on the
adept you
Daily
are
Show later on.
doing that. Yes, at the Daily Show. John Stewart. John, grab your Guinness.
Yes.
Great job. I'll toast the man that took it for all the intolerance against transgender people in this world. And a hug. See, we're just bringing people together here on the Anthony Cumia Show. Oh, you drink anything? What? Anything?
I'm good. I'm on the wagon.
Are you? What happened?
Nah.
People usually don't go on the wagon unless something happens.
Nothing specific.
You don't just go, I really enjoy drinking, but fuck it. I'm just going to stop. It's always like, oh, Christ, what did I do?
Down in the chair and talk to them again.
That's all right. I'll wait until have Ange have everything. Have Ange have the house reupholstered. Can you please? There we go. That's good. What's a little hair between friends like that?
It feels weird.
It feels yeah. What that?
Feels like something pulling me back every time I get stepped.
Is that is? Yeah. So you never had that done before,
No,
I would assume. And now does it feel gushy or like you're wearing a diaper or something? What does it feel like?
I'm not even trying to be funny here. You know, sometimes when you do shart, like
It feels like when you
Is
do
that a given?
shart.
People shart?
It feels like when you
a
shart.
little heat in the pants. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? So what brought you over from Ireland to come to the United States of America?
Originally, I came to Pennsylvania to play football or soccer, as you guys.
Oh,
call it.
soccer.
Yeah. That you.
Football, of
Yeah.
course. Well, like on a scholarship or something?
No, playing semi-pro.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
I thought it would be you'd get more opportunity in Ireland.
Yeah, but I wasn't good enough to make.
Oh, so you come to the United States to be a shit soccer player. Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Because I guess you would go to like Europe to play shitty American football if you can't
that's
make it
good
in the
points.
NFL.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, so you came over and how did that work out for you? Were you,
It's probably-
were you too shitty to play in the American soccer? Yeah.
No, actually.
I went out for field hockey. After that, the girls kept hitting me shins.
For a while, it was the football, the soccer wasn't the problem. It was living in Pennsylvania. It was the problem.
Oh, was it? Were you in like the
Lancaster.
sticks?
Mhm, I was in
All right,
Amish country.
so Amish country. So there you
Harrisburg.
are, this Irish dude in Amish country. What made you pick? Were there
No, they were
Amish
in
people on the
Harrisburg.
soccer team?
No, but
All
there
right,
was
that would have
people
been.
that were.
If you weren't good enough to play Amish soccer, I would have
couldn't
barely
play.
have to rip the rest of the hair out.
they couldn't play anyway because it was on a weekend. So they don't
Oh, it's
do
on the
any
weekend. They
Sunday
don't
day
do
rests.
anything.
No.
Oh, okay. So you're living there. What about like the girl situation?
Well, that's why I came over. I got married over here, and that's how I started listening to your show back in the day.
Why you were miserable and
Same. So you don't
You-
understand.
oh.
You don't understand when you're talking. This, you had my life.
oh
For-
my God!
I defy
It just
yours.
goes to show you, folks.
It's
cunt
so
is a universal language.
We get away with it. We get away with
yeah,
it a
you
lot.
get away
Yeah,
with it.
yeah,
but
we
it really is. As far as a wife goes and stuff, the word, there could be like, cunt or kunt or kunt. They just all know, cunt. Every language. It's universally accepted as your fucking wife. So what was she doing that really pissed you off? Just being a wife?
Well, I think originally she probably thought I was a big time
soccer
player,
star.
And she realized maybe I'm not. So she was
Oh
all high
man!
maintenance
So she thought you were like fucking Beckham,
probably.
And
Fool.
yeah.
So
Oh man.
it just, I think the whole thing of me being Irish wore off.
Was she American?
Yeah. From
So she
Pittsburgh,
kind of
yeah.
liked your accent's so cute.
That's the way it started. off.
Aye,
Yeah.
suck my dick.
Yeah. That's
And
how it
then,
started. Then it turned to, you can't. If I put on TV and let's say I used to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
If the women wrestlers come on, I had to turn it off.
A little jealous.
Yeah.
Sounds like she was a jealous one.
You make this kind of comment as well. When you call up Comcast or Optimum,
Yeah.
and you get an operator, they're talking to you.
Uh-huh.
Well, you gotta wait in the line, and she goes, "Oh, where are you from?" And I say, "From Ireland." It's just to pass the conversation.
Sure.
My ex would hear that and go, "Who are you talking to?"
Oh man.
That's the way it was.
What a fucking nightmare.
That's the way it was.
Oh, that is
I had the
terrible.
same thing.
Yeah,
as you,
yeah.
and
That
I just.
heavy jealousy. And you know what that makes guys want to do? Go out and fuck, because you're getting accused of it anyway.
I was too afraid.
So why? Was she a big gal or?
No,
You're just
she
too.
was just. She just.
You know what it is? A lot of times guys too, they don't want to upset the old apple
it.
cart too much. It's like, that would be a problem. I'll stay out of this argument by just saying yes and agreeing and apologizing. And then you realize years and years go by and so much resentment is built up that you got to just take her in an elevator and punch her in the fucking face. I don't condone that, of course, on video. But Bailey, do you understand these type of relationship problems? Because you're a cool chick. Because you have a cock.
Yeah,
So you have that mindset still, I think of, you wouldn't mind if your guy is fucking watching, videos and...
Well, like porn and stuff, I'm like, whatever. Like that's just reality.
Yeah.
But like, I get jealous. Like the idea of him being with another chick would maybe make me feel kind of weird. But I'm also a cool customer where I'm like, I'll just read a book about non-monogamy and see if it's, you know what I mean? Like I try to be a cool customer about it, but...
You do get jealous though?
I do get jealous, but I'm also hyper horny, so I like pull my weight. I'm not like not fucking him and then saying don't fuck other people. I'm going, I'm just gonna you can fuck me in the ass anytime you want.
That's fucking great.
Wish
It helps though too. It helps too though, I think. If you're feeling jealous and possessive about your guy, you could always jack off, and then the second you come, you'll be like, I don't give a shit about him anyway.
Right.
Fuck it.
It resets it.
Let him do whatever he wants. It just resets to I don't give a shit about my significant other. It's that, some of that I love you juice just leaves your body. Yeah, I'm down a quart low on I give a flying fuck about you juice. Put the dipstick up my ass and check. So did you get a divorce?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long ago?
2 years, at least 2 years. No, maybe 2.5 years.
Would you lose you lose one soccer net?
I basically said I just wanted to get out.
That's how desperate guys get too.
Yeah. And
that's how desperate they get. I just want out.
That's it.
Holy
and it's funny
shit.
because people say, other people know. People said, no, you really should get ham. But you don't understand. I was in a spot where sitting underneath a bridge in a sleeping bag was better than.
You were?
No, I'm just saying that would have been better.
That would have been better. That would have been good. Fuck her. I sure showed her. She's in the house fucking some other guy and you're under a bridge shivering. I showed that cunt. So you get the divorce. Was she like pissed off that you wanted to divorce her, or at this point was it just gone?
Something else happened, but I'll save that.
I would assume there was some adultery going on.
Not for me.
I know. I assumed if she didn't give a shit, she finally said, fuck this, and
I could tell you.
Would she get an English guy? A guy from England? I really rubbed it in my fucking face.
The dentist, he was talking about we drink the warm beer. And I said that was like blasphemy. So,
yeah.
Look, we're not English.
Right, English drink the warm beer.
Yeah.
By the way, do you like the Guinness from my bar over here?
I was just telling the guys.
Isn't that great?
Anywhere over here I've gone, first of all, they don't give it to me in a pint glass.
Right.
And then they pour it straight up.
No,
It's like
no.
it's the most
I'll sometimes fuck like that in a rush. I'll fucking
Right.
do, if I got to run upstairs and catch a movie. But I made sure I double poured.
and it's great because it
good
lasts.
stuff. Isn't it great?
Yeah. Here's one for you.
House,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
I'm from the original hometown of Guinness.
Really?
Where Arthur Guinness created Guinness.
Where he created? Did you ever go to the place? And
Oh, you can
fucking-
see his castle, little mansion from my parents'
Really?
house. Yeah. Just
Get that little fucker out of here. We're trying to brew some beer, and you can't even play soccer, you little fuck. He's just little John's kicking the ball. It's getting fucking lost.
and that's it. When I come over, like back home, my name's just is John Stewart.
Right.
Over here,
Oh, John Stewart, huh? Any relation to the... No, why would I have the same fucking name, you dummy?
and there's always that one guy that says it to me that walks away thinking he's the first one that said it to me.
First
made
one.
his day. You know?
Hey,
It's like,
Daily Show.
Yeah.
Right, you fucking cunt. So, did you get married again, or...
No.
No, you got a gal, do you?
No, I been back here since January.
Oh, okay.
And,
So what are you doing? Like for a living?
I work in as a designer and a personal trainer. Like.
Okay, yeah, I noticed you like can fucking like he's
strength
all
training.
buff and
Yeah.
shit.
I noticed.
Yeah, it doesn't come in handy for your ass waxing, that's for sure. Yeah.
No, you really can't do anything about that. You just gotta fucking take it.
Yeah.
That's what I tell him every time.
Yeah, you just gotta take it. Oh shit. So I want to hear a little bit more about what happened because that adultery story sounds like it was
See,
a little shaky.
If I say that now, I'm gonna get in shit for that.
And shit?
Yeah.
Why, you still got the legal ramifications?
I tell you how I found out.
All right.
Right. I was never allowed to go home to Ireland. Right. I had to stay here no matter what. You know, you can't see my family or whatever. Once she's happy, I'm not. So then it was about 3 years ago, and she says, "You want to go home for Christmas?" And I went, "Yeah." And then I went, "Wait, why is she saying that? Why is she being nice? You know, why is this okay?" So I went home for Christmas, and there was her parents lived across the road. It was like Everybody Loves Raymond kind of thing.
I'm like, I can't breathe during this story. I'm like, oh, this is going to get bad.
There was a car parked in their driveway all the time.
Is that what you call it?
And I said, whose car is that all the time? And she said it was some girl that was staying in her parents' house because she needed a house. Saw a guy drive it one day. I said, I thought it was a girl. That's her husband. I said, you said they're having marital problems. I mean, I called her bluff every time. So,
Oh, no.
I got home to Ireland for 2 weeks for Christmas.
And you're just totally to this whole thing, right?
But I wanted out anyway. You know?
Right, but you don't want out like that.
Yeah. So
Like, look, I wanted out from Sirius XM at some
yeah.
point. Not fucking poof!
So this is what I felt like. I came back in after Christmas, January, and I just banged on the PlayStation. Hadn't played it in months, right? And I hate football, NFL. Hate it. You know, no interest in it.
Yeah.
And I was going through my saved games, and I saw John Madden.
Oh no, she was
2012.
fucking John Madden? That's disgusting. Fucking leprechaun.
And then I just said, like, there's one thing I don't play, and that's NFL football. So she had to do it over for Christmas, and he was playing his Madden on my
Holy
PlayStation.
shit.
Yeah.
What a dumb way to get caught.
Yeah.
But it's always something.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I am probably one of the worst cheaters ever. I leave clues. You know, I've had people tell me, you got the sloppiest fucking game I've ever seen. Because I just don't give a shit. I like to think I gave a shit, but I didn't. So I would trip up bad with my phone and fucking leaving my computer open with the page there with, you know, me fucking a girl naked on the fucking pictures as my screensaver. Well, all right, maybe not that bad, but leaving, wow, that's one of them.
Yeah. Like, my email with them became her email address. My bank account became her bank account. So I couldn't hide anything anyway, even though I did want to. But it was more that basically getting sucked dry until the day I said no. I remember like one day she said, you need to buy this, do that, and I went no. And I could just see in her eyes, oh, she's done using me. She's going to move on to the next one.
All right,
You know,
and that was that.
She goes,
Did she tell you she wanted it over, or did you tell her?
it was basically, it was neutral.
Amicable.
Yeah. It was like, once I said, I stood up for myself and said no.
Yeah.
That was it. You can tell, okay, I'm going to find someone else that will march to the beat of the drum.
Now you've been with other girls since your divorce, right?
Yeah.
But nothing serious.
No.
You ever think you're gonna get married again?
No.
I love how quick it's like no.
Not a danger. Not a danger.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly how I feel.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially if this video gets out.
Yeah.
I love you. I want to What the fuck is this?
That's the thing now, because I was saying to Keith, it's you've got at least 20 more subscribers from Ireland now, just from
Ireland.
just from that. Just from me.
I've actually got a lot of subscribers from Ireland. It's very cool how this has become an international thing, and England too. You know, those fucking wankers.
Yeah.
Over in England, Australia. How do you feel about them?
I love the Aussies.
You love Aussies?
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
aren't many people from other countries that hate them.
Yeah.
They just seem like, yeah, let's have a good time,
Yeah.
Just gonna drink some fucking Foosters and vomit. Like they're fun.
Yeah.
Fun
No, they
people.
are.
Irish seem fun, but it's on a graph. It's like the more you drink, it's fun. Kick your ass. The fun goes out the window, and now I want to fight. You've been in a few scrapes?
Yeah.
A couple of Donnybrooks?
I found it hard here to go out and drink or party, whatever, because American guys are very
Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. American guys like bringing it up to the point of fighting, and then you got to finish the deal. You know.
Well, in Ireland, let's say you walked into a pub in Ireland. You were from out of town, or you weren't one. Yeah, come on over, sit with us. But over here, if you act like like you're from the guys get all like intimidating. You start. On the dog's
It's all about
here.
the chicks.
Yeah.
Fucking guy comes over here from Ireland. He said after our fucking chicks. Fuck him, Vinny. Go over there and kick his fucking ass. And then you got to wipe the floor with him. Have you done some damage over the years?
Over here, it's what? It's mostly on a field or after a game when someone said. People don't know.
Someone said you suck.
During that's it. During the game, they don't know. You only hear half the stuff. You won't believe. You talk about people saying, "Oh, racist and stuff." On a field.
Yeah, it gets bad.
The mic doesn't pick what I say or someone says to each other. That's
really? That's where it gets bad?
And then after game is when you'll go to a tunnel or you go and you sort it out.
So that you come to blows sometimes when.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, before I got married, the last thing my ex saw before she had a chance to get out was she saw me punch a guy right in the field, and everyone looked at her. Said,
man,
you're with this guy, kind of thing.
You should have said he was playing Madden football. That'd fucking make her think, oh shit.
Yeah.
Want to think twice about that shit. And Bailey, you just have no fucking problems in your relationship, right?
Not no problems. I have really normal, annoying problems.
Is it annoying? What do you two kind of get, I won't even say brawling about, but maybe a little snippy around the house?
It's such a cliche, but I'll be like, you're not emotional enough. I want a baby, like that. I know.
Wow.
That's when you said when I was the cool wife. I was like, yeah, kind of. It's a little nah. I'm down to pound. I want to have sex, but then I'm like, I want a baby.
Down to pound.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that would, most people don't know, so I'd like just informing them. That would probably entail him tooling you in the ass.
Yeah, he bangs my ass. That's
right.
Yeah. That's
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
That deserves a all around. Look, Big A's taking a drink. Everyone's just taking a drink. Now, a lot of people are under the misconception also that your husband is gay.
Yeah, well, I think that people assume because I was assigned male at birth that anybody who would have sex with me is gay, but I've told you before, I've tried to fuck gay guys. I think they're hot. They don't want to fuck me.
That is the oddest thing.
Gay guys clean
obviously,
and work out, and you know what I mean. But they don't want to fuck me because they're just like, you look like a chick.
You look like a chick. Ew.
Yeah, basically.
Right? I know. I heard Dennis say that just before. And now you're very outspoken on Twitter about gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. There's so many letters in that.
The LGBTQ element of P.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah. It's like alphabet, like cream of alphabet soup. It's a cum joke. Get it? But the language thing, I think that's the only thing I've ever disagreed with you on. I love your outlook on everything, on life and being transgender, and how what a great sense of humor you have. And then certain things on language, though, it puts that same feeling I get when people say you can't say retard or nigger or spick or like all those things used detrimentally and used to hurt people is one thing. Used in the proper context, and especially in the context of comedy, which has always had this little taboo thing to it, I think anything is legitimate and should be able to be said.
Right. I think in the past I was more. It was really only a couple of months there where I was really kind of like. I did want to phase out words like tranny or shemale, which was so not how I normally am about things.
Right.
But certain people were sending me articles and stuff, and so I really was kind of tooting that horn for a while. And
yeah, you toot that horn.
But it changed, though. I'm actually with the older generation of trans women, who some of them do identify with the word tranny is in a constructive way. And these younger generations that are trying to erase that word and erase these people's stories, I'm like, that's incredibly entitled. You're 23 years old.
Yeah.
So that's changed. I don't use slurs at this phase of my life as an adult. I decided not to use slurs
at all.
But I get to say tranny and shemale because I am one. So I'm like,
that seems to be, everyone likes having the word that, hey, I could say that.
I was kind of like, slurs are kind of fun and salacious. So I'm like, don't take the one I'm allowed to say away.
Apparently I'm allowed to say asshole. and everyone else that knows me is too. That's what I'm called. So things like when we used to use the word faggot back in elementary school, you'd be like, you wouldn't even know about homosexuality or anything, but it was always like, come on, fucking come out, you faggot, don't. And that all of a sudden became something that you weren't allowed to use in any context. And I always thought that was odd. Like some words just have two meanings or two or more meanings. And I think that's another word, like retard also. I would never walk up to a mentally handicapped person and go, Joe, could I have your keys? I need your car. Obviously, I'm insinuating it. I'd never walk up to a mentally handicapped person and go, hey, retard, or, hey, look at that retard. I'd feel horrible doing that. But to go to your friend when he does something stupid and just go, what are you, a fucking retard? Like, it works well. It's funny. It always has been funny to say, and you never mean it to be hurtful. And I know other people can interpret it as that, but people will find anything to interpret as hurtful. So
that's definitely a huge epidemic on the internet, is people kind of flopping and wanting to just, much like football or soccer, people pretend to be injured and throw themselves 3 feet like, oh my God, I was injured.
Is that what you use to compensate for sucking? Oh, I fucking fell again.
but yeah, and gay people came down on trans women. Gay men were saying,
yeah, this infighting within communities.
Well, yeah, and that's what's so silly. That basically gay people were telling trans women, cool it, the word tranny isn't offensive, get over it. But then gay people were saying, don't say that's so gay and don't say faggot.
Right.
And so it was kind of like, just stick to one or the other. And that's actually why I stopped kind of policing tranny or shemale, because I've always been about this whole shedding your identity kind of thing. And then to say, oh, except for my word, would make me the world's biggest piece of shit.
Yeah, you kind of, people lose credibility saying stuff like that when they say, well, I'm saying this and that, but you're not allowed to say this. It just comes off as very hypocritical. And tranny, I always thought, I've never heard tranny being used in a way where it was supposed to be hurtful.
Really?
It always seemed like a fun, well, you could say like, that fucking tranny, but it's not the tranny part. It's saying that fucking and the attitude you put to it. The word itself has always been kind of fun and like, oh, let's go to the tranny club that's up there and watch the dancers and shit like that.
Or if I know a girl, I'm like, oh, this crazy tranny. Like, I use it like that in a fun way, but then you will turn on the TV and say, oh my God, so-and-so looks like a fucking tranny. And it's never like, because she looks really good. It's because she looks like shit. And so it's like,
I understand, but there are also people, unfortunately, that legitimately are transgendered and do look like shit.
Well, it happened.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It is very hurtful to say it like that. I understand that. But I think tranny was the only word that transgendered people could be like, oh, we got to get people to stop saying that because it's the only word we have.
I always say it's informal, not offensive. That's my personal thing. If you go up to someone and say, hey, you're a tranny, I'd be like, well, I'm a trans woman, but know me for 5 weeks and maybe I'll let you call me a tranny. Like, let's see how that goes. Not to police it, but just like you're not going to go up to a woman and be like, hey, bitch. And it's just like, maybe your friends, well, maybe you.
His fucking wife. My ex-wife.
But it's informal. It's just, when in my obituary, for the record, don't call me a tranny, call me a trans woman. But on the street, be like, hey, hey, tranny. Or if you're my friend, that's cool.
Yeah.
If I die, the news reporter better not call me a fucking she-male or I will be so pissed.
Now, okay, that's right. She-male does seem like the more offensive of the
grosser.
Two. She-male. That's the one that's always in the back of the magazines. It's like, yeah, that's where I, rip out and order the books and stuff back in the old days. No, that's. Do people recognize you on the street?
Yeah, now after doing Jim Norton's show.
Yeah.
I had someone come up to me on the street in Chelsea and congratulate me and tell me how good I did. And I was
great.
It's happened a couple times. It's kind of
Jimmy's show on Vice is fantastic.
Yeah,
and
your bit on there was so funny.
It was really funny,
good.
Man. All those guys are just hilarious, and having you on there as co-host is really good.
Yeah,
you work really well with Jimmy. Jimmy is very easy to work with. When you're just talking about something, he knows how to lead a conversation.
Totally.
And
you can tell in the interviews too.
Yeah, and I think he found a comfort level doing the Opie and Anthony show for so many years that he can talk to these people. I remember him being so starstruck the first time Ozzy Osbourne came in, because he's fucking in love with Ozzy. It was the first time he came in. We were at XM at the studio on 57th, and he could not talk. He wanted to interview Ozzy. And I love Ozzy and stuff, but I'm not that huge a fan where I know a lot about Ozzy. So I'm just trying to tread water. And Jimmy's got that face on like fucking Cindy Brady at the contest she froze at. He can't even fucking do anything. I felt bad for him. And then after it's over, he's just like, I fucked it all up. Fuck. I think he thought that he was going to do so well that afterwards Ozzy was just going to be like, Jimmy, come on out to the limo. We'll fucking get some girls and shit. I think if there's anyone that could get Jimmy to drink and do drugs, it would probably be Ozzy. So maybe he shouldn't hang out with him. But yeah, I love Jimmy, and hopefully the Vice gets back on and picks him up again, because that was really good. What do we got? 7? Oh my God. And then a house full of people. What are we doing afterwards? You want to go in the pool or something? Did you bring your swimmies?
I didn't.
Oh man!
I didn't duct tape my balls up for the swimming pool.
Hey, who doesn't? Right? We all had so much duct tape in the skimmer the next morning. It's just terrible. Yeah, we try to keep the pool open until Halloween. And of course, if you're around for the big Halloween party, you're cordially invited.
I have a costume already that I was going to wear to my one. Yeah, you'll like it.
Oh,
you'll like it.
Ooh, I would. I'm trying to think what it could possibly be. John Madden? A good one. It's kind of funny. It works both ways. And of course, if you guys aren't doing anything Halloween, you're cordially invited to come here. I try to keep the pool open until Halloween. My goal is the Halloween pool party, which nature has to kind of help with because it's got to kind of be warm out. You don't want to be freezing cold outside. But the pool heater starts sounding like a Model T by about the beginning of October. Sounds like Don Corleone in the Tomato Patch. You're spelling it. But I try to keep it going. And 2 Halloweens ago, we actually had it open, went in, and I think that's when Mikey Cuffs brought his cop scuba gear, and we went scuba diving in the pool, which was fun, and no one died, which is more than I could say. Almost died. More than we could say about Tommy Lee's parties or fucking Lou Costello. How bad? There's a baby in the. Well, spit it out, Lou. Baby's drowning in the... Come on, Lou, spit it out. He's in the... What a horrible situation that must have been. He hear his kid died in the pool.
Oh.
From Abbott and Costello.
Oh, right. Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. Laugh, clown, laugh. Though your baby may be drowning. Is that part of the song? I don't think it is. Can you tell I'm stretching? Can you tell I'm still working on time management when we do 2 separate segments? Had you? I asked you before about the DeRosa call. Now DeRosa loves you.
Yeah.
Has he been in touch with you since he went out to LA at all? Does he?
Once. I mean, we spoke once because Matt and I were talking about moving to Florida for a minute before everything took off with Vice and everything else kind of came together. We were looking for, because we fucking hated the winters. We were looking at Florida. And he gave me an earful telling me that I was an idiot for moving to Florida, which is so right. He was.
Oh my God!
I was pissed at the time.
You should move to LA.
He was just like, you're 25, you can't retire now. He's like, it's a cute thought, but you're to make money. And he's like, you can't move to Florida. And I was so pissed, but he was completely right. Now we're in New York, and I'm working and
oh, look, Joe DeRosa was right.
He saved
with
my life.
her. Not so much with me. I had a little phone conversation with him earlier, and
I kind of heard.
we gotta work things out. We were very good friends, and I still consider him a friend. It's just it put us in a weird position.
Right.
You can understand that.
Weird positions, right? Porn.
No, right, porn again. Right, my dick and that. Yeah. Do you get many guys that get a little upset at how well endowed you are?
My penis isn't that big. I think it's just on a girl, so it's big for a chick.
You definitely got a big dick for a girl. It makes a lot of sense.
Most guys have a kink for it, though. Like they play up to the fact that it's like they want to be impotent or something, and I'm just kind of like, ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, don't ever do a change me, I'm a baby thing, because you suck at it.
Oh my God. Yeah, the infantilism.
She's powdering me. This girl she's terrible. Hey, summer may be over, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't book a trip and get away from the everyday. Now, most people just do the logical thing. You go on the internet, right, and you use one of the travel sites. What do they got? Orbitz, Priceline. It's Priceline. And bingo, you're all set. That's fine if you want one of those nothing to do, no frills vacation kind of things. But if you want something more, something special, make a vacation that stands out, and consider talking to our newest sponsor, KVS Travel. Yes. KVS Travel, a full-service travel agency specializing in personal concierge service with no fees. What if I want to go to Ireland?
Take me with you.
Yeah, all right, just pack in the overhead compartment or something. Yes, this is what concierge style is. It's the ultimate in personal service tailored to your specific travel needs and wants. Every little tiny detail taken care of so you get the most out of your vacation. Whether it's a cruise, Disney resorts, Hawaii, sandals, beaches, luxury, all-inclusive resort, or most any kind of destination, KVS is going to qualify your needs and walk you through every step of your booking. Nothing left to chance. All you need to do is show up and relax. You don't have any of the pesky annoyances that could ruin that trip, like a wife.
Yes.
Am I right? Fucking bitch. Because when you
Cunt, Anthony. Cunt.
Yes, you're fucking cunt. When you book with KVS Travel, you always receive the personal attention and a cell phone number of your personal travel concierge. Get this. You don't spend hours on hold being directed by some hard-to-understand foreign operator. No, you'll be speaking with your own concierge. Could you imagine if it was a girl concierge and your wife and you were on there just going, hey, we'd like some room service on there. Who is that? Who's that? Go fuck yourself.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah. Yes, you get an accent-free American. The KVS Personal Concierge Program makes it possible to travel like a star without having to be one. Try KVS Travel the next vacation, or ask KVS Travel about group fundraising and how your group leaders can travel for free. KVS is going to make you and your whole group have a great experience, and like all the other customers have had, they've been raving about it. It's KBS Travel. By phone, it's 610-463-3232 or at kbstravel.com. Or email them. It's info@kbstravel.com. One more time, 610-463-3232, kbstravel.com, or email at info@kbstravel.com. If you would kindly place that on the table, we'll say our goodbyes. Bailey, Jay, thank you so much. You're a love.
Thank you so much.
And John Stewart
Thank
from
you.
Ireland. With he's single, he can't play soccer. I don't know, girls.
And then my
So it sounds like a catch to me.
And a
my
newly
man's gonna be
bald
proud
ass.
after this.
Yes. All my pals for coming over, and of course Joe DeRosa for calling in. That was very cool, tying up my show for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm kidding. Stop it. Keith, thank you again. Of course, Rat in the control room. Bless you. And we will see you Monday with George St. Pierre. And Gavin McGinnis will be in also. I've heard some crazy shit about George St. Pierre. Is that real? Like he's an alien? Like he thinks aliens? Oh, this is going to be fucking fun, man. I cannot wait. That's Monday. So tune in Monday. Until then, have a great weekend and tell your friends about it. Tell them to subscribe, cheap motherfuckers. Take it easy. Have a good weekend. Bye.